and clauses in sentences that we did the last time. And there can be different kinds of phrases. Phrase, if it begins with a verb, it's a verb phrase. If the phrase begins with a noun, it's a noun phrase. If it begins with a preposition, you get a prepositional phrase. If it begins with an adverb, you get an adverbial phrase. If it begins with an adjective, you can have an adjective phrase. So depending upon what that phrase begins with, you can have different kinds of phrases. All right. Now, next is the clause there. A clause, there is what we call an independent clause and there is a dependent clause. All right. Sentence independent clause and a dependent clause. Dependent clause, another name for a dependent clause is also called subordinate clause. All right. So when you divide sentences into different structures, we use these two features. Clause di ledo, clause di capto, dil teche, and sentence structure. So this part is what we're going to look at. Okay? Yes. Phrase clause sentence structure, the clause can all right. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Okay, now based on how many clauses a sentence has, or the different types of clauses that a sentence has, we get 4 types of sentences. Sentence chinal clause manyung khazeto, clause khande khazeto, diyeval teche sentence sheet thunguta. Sentence structure sheet thungure, tomshi shisigore. So you have a simple sentence, you have a compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. We have a sheet thungure. Clause the tech, you have a thungure. Clause page understando. Clause chicto, clause nido, clause dependent redo, clause independent redo, tinsuria shishane, and you have a sheet to one, you have a sheet thungure. Okay? So these are the different types, 4 different types of sentence structures. We're not talking about patterns, we're talking about structures over here. Okay, based on clauses used in the sentence. All right. Okay, now let's look at the different sentences. First is simple. Now, in a simple sentence, all right, we'll see one clause, and that clause is called an independent clause. Let me show you. Okay, for example, this sentence, he wrote an essay.
Easy.
It is a clause, all right? And it is an independent clause because it is a complete sentence. It can be written as a sentence on its own. Sentence, all right? The meaning is complete there. He wrote an essay. Complete sentence there. So it's called an independent clause. Independent means the meaning does not depend upon another clause. It has its own meaning on its own. It is independently. It independently makes a meaning there. So that's why it's called an independent clause. He wrote an essay. Clause, clause clause the independent clause sentence, complete sentence the independent clause a complete sentence is also called an independent clause. All right?
Yes.
Okay, what's a compound sentence? Now, in a compound sentence, you will see 2 independent clauses joined. All right? Okay. Look at this. He wrote he wrote an essay and he wrote an essay and he won a prize for his excellent work. See, he wrote an essay that is independent. Yes. He won a prize for his excellent work. That can also be written as a separate sentence. These 2 are independent clauses. They have been joined by and the joint chair. All right. This and, what is happening? Oh, sorry. Okay, this and over here is called a coordinating conjunction. independent clause ni join ching tik coordinating conjunctions. Independent sentence ni two sentence chik search out. All right. So you have. Can you remember those that we learned last year?
Yes. Very
What are
well.
those? Yeah, there is an acronym. Acronym jiwa acronyms do ko tik tangu de sangwa ma pang tin tik chile. Do you remember that?
Fanboy.
Yes, fanboys. F is for, A is and, right? N is nor, B is but. Okay, O is or, Y is yet, S is so. When you put all of them together and you join the first letters of these words, you get fanboys. These are the coordinating conjunctions in the English language. Subject, independent sentence ni tu tuni, coordinating conjunctions. All right. So such a sentence where you have two independent clauses joined by a coordinating conjunction, this kind of a sentence is called a compound sentence. You compound this independent sentence independent clause penetration. He wrote an essay, full stop. Yep. He won a prize for his excellent work, full stop. Sentence because they're independent, they have their own meaning there. But you can write this as one sentence by using coordinating conjunctions. Okay, so that's how you get a compound sentence. Okay, now we have the third type of sentence, which is called complex sentences. All right. Now, in a complex sentence, you will see two different kinds of clauses. One is an independent clause and one is a dependent clause. All right. So sometimes you will have two dependent clauses, doesn't matter. So you will have an independent clause and you will have a dependent clause. See, what happened? Okay, here, look at this. Although he studied very hard, he failed in the exams. Clause ni ordinalia. Although he studied very hard, clause ready. He failed in the exams, clause ready. Both are clauses. Subject verb, But if you look at the second clause, he failed in the exams, that's independent. He failed in the exams. But if you look at the first clause in red, although he studied very hard, that is not complete. The meaning is not complete. All right, so the first clause is not independent because it does not make complete sense. It does not have complete meaning there. Sentence it needs another independent clause to complete the meaning. Sentence complete independent clause although he studied very hard. Independent clause. So such a clause which does not have a complete meaning, but its meaning depends upon another independent clause. Such kind of a clause is called a dependent clause. When I went home, if it rains today, these are called dependent clauses. They cannot stand on their own. Okay, the meaning is not complete. So that's how you have a dependent clause and an independent clause. So if in a sentence you have a dependent clause and an independent clause, that kind of a sentence is called a complex sentence. A complex sentence. All right. Okay, now let's look at the fourth sentence. All right, let's practice the surely that detailed. Now, compound complex sentences, just as the name suggests, compound complex. Compound sentence, complex sentence. All right, it means that you will have two independent clauses, all right, and maybe one or more dependent clauses. Independent clause means compound chavir, and a dependent clause is to unit and complex. That's how you get compound complex. Here, example. The rain was falling and the weather was cold, though it was supposed to be spring. The rain was falling, chabatang tangados or chabatang son, and in Namshi and Chiga Ines, the Injinal Chakagun Diligat, so Chiga Ines and Chabatangados, Namshi Tanguretus, Lorba. All right. So you will see two independent clauses. The rain was falling and the weather was cold. These two are independent clauses and they've been joined by and, so it's a compound sentence. Jangunal TV, the compound redwa sentence. Redwa. Okay. Look at the words in red. Though it was supposed to be spring. And spring yines, that those spring yines, and namshi tamuche chabatang dos, chabatang dos, okay. So spring yines here the dependent red. Because spring yines and all right. So you must have independent clause to complete its meaning. So here you see compound sentence joined with an independent, a dependent clause. So what you get is you get a compound complex sentence. Okay, you have a compound complex sentence. Did you understand how it's formed? So this kind of a sentence is the most complex, the most difficult sentence because it can have a lot of meaning in it. Manguchil tanda bench simple le tanda chingma to yomare. Compound le tanda ni chu jarsha. You read na lol tanda manguch chu degre. All right. So it's supposed to be the most difficult sentence there. Okay. All right. Did you understand what these four different sentence structures are? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. So yes. So what are they? Simple sentence.
Simple sentence.
Compound sentence.
Compound sentence.
Complex
Complex
sentence.
sentence. Compound complex sentence.
Oh, did it? Sentence sheet. All right. And they're all different because the use of clauses are different. Okay. Clause. So simple sentence, there is only one independent clause. Finished. Compound sentence, there are two independent clauses joined by a coordinating conjunction. All right. Complex sentence, you have an independent clause and an
Dependent
clause. Compound complex, you have a compound sentence and a dependent clause. So you have compound complex sentences. This what the okay. Now let's see, the features of each of these sentences. How do you write each of these sentences? Sentence in the rare condistic or simple the condistic called kejo kariore or the rare. All right, now, but before that, these are extremely important basic features of an English sentence. English sentence, English sentence, you must start with a capital letter. Whenever you start a sentence, must start with a capital letter. And what was it? She finished her homework. She first letter is always a capital letter. All right? Any new sentence. That full stop sentence in a sentence full stop sentence begin with a capital letter. This is an important feature of English sentences. Okay, so whenever you start a new sentence is a sentence that comes after a full stop. All right. This sentence ends with a full stop, so it's one sentence, finished. Now let's say you want to write another sentence, you have to start with a capital letter, not with a small letter. Okay, so that is something you have to keep in mind. Okay, so start a sentence, a new sentence with a capital letter. Okay, now when you finish a sentence, you have to put either a full stop, if it is a statement, a question mark, if it's a question mark, and an exclamation mark, if it is an exclamatory sentence. You're watching. And exclamation. Wow, exclamation. Full stop. All right. Okay, so keep this in mind. When you end a sentence, you must end with a punctuation mark. Okay, and there can be different punctuation marks. You have a full stop, which is also called a period, or there is a question mark, or there is an exclamation mark. So that the sentence is a sentence koran chidangi statement chiko you put a full stop. And tiba gugu the question mark. Sorwa shuk chambu tol yat sik chibugu you have exclamation. The tease. Writing now this ketchumbre. Because writing now tick mother tongu medu, sorwa tongu medu, sorwa doing it now, tick jensum doing it to bad into it. Get the shade lelo yor, right? She finished her homework, so duk shadow in the tabalam somehow. All right. Did she finish her homework? So dang korangi tiba imba hakure. Wow, she finished her homework. So the hang something the exclamation imba. Yeah, she do get dang nilamsa. Because it's not a sound. You don't hear a sound there. You only see letters and you only see words, all right? So these marks are extremely important to convey, to make sure that the exact meaning is being understood. The writing now, get to share it into okay? All right, now number 3, here, I just gave you an example. She finished her homework, put a full stop. Full stop, full stop, Mary, Tirish, take it to the Tigio Mare, and Kawal Jensum Kawai Haku Mare, Tanda Kawache you made, and shoot two the Delia. Okay. All right, now the third important thing is a sentence contains a subject, and a sentence, of course, contains a verb. Now, you know all those 5 basic sentences, your basic sentence pattern, you see that it always begins with a subject and it is followed by a verb, okay? But then the subject is only written once. You don't write it more than once. Look at this. Okay. Dashi finished his homework. Dashi, he, Dashi, he finished his homework? No, we don't want the subject written twice. We want it written just once. So Dashi finished his homework, or he finished his homework. Then you check gaps. Mingzi jorwa, chepo the thing which Ming Dungermado, what thing is Nyamdolia, thing when you Ming Dungmare. Dashi, he finished his homework is wrong. Don't use both of them together. Use it once only. Use the subject, name the subject just once. All right, so okay, so these are the basic elements or basic features of an English sentence. You know, whenever you're writing, you must keep these in mind today. All right, be basic today. Okay, now we're going to look at the structures. That simple kind of all right, now we all know that a sentence contains a subject followed by a verb. Okay, so start the simple Yurisha. Inji ki sentence nalo le kutu ine subject thangbo yor di jel verb yor. Ta chiba nali ina ani verb dinge leg yor. That's the difference. Otherwise, it's always the subject and the verb. All right. Then the sentence, to be meaningful and to be complete, must follow one of the 5 basic patterns. Pattern nga di chango we are the sentence okay, so we did all those 5 basic patterns: subject verb object, subject linking verb subject complement, subject verb indirect object, subject verb object complements. These are the basic 5 sentence patterns. A sentence hangma nalo into sentence karuchine shize domshi dinsu sandeyor. All right, kashil tangbut sayor, kashil nibut sayor, kashil sumbut sayor, kashil shibadiyor, kashil ngabayor. Dimma tamaliya, shiz dimma tamaliya sentence tanda kumaristigar. We did that. See, pangrim jodan. Kashil is subject gel verb chyor. Kashil is subject gel verb gel object in go dengiyor. Odik see pangrim jidwa. Okay, the pangrim the tangu resler. Kari chik sayor. If you look at all English sentences, you will see they use one of these patterns. So without using any one of these patterns, you cannot get an English sentence, a meaningful English sentence. So the sentence structure can't get you. Okay, now a sentence must have a complete idea that spans. Sentence you do a sentence must be complete. In other words, it must be an independent clause. So these are also important things to keep in mind when you're writing an English sentence. English sentence, okay, for example, look at this example there. She finished her homework. You see subject, you see a verb, you also see an object there. All right? Subject, verb, object. And it makes complete sense. And it is an independent clause. So that is called a sentence. And you can see it begins with a capital letter and the sentence ends with a full stop. That's called a sentence in the English language. Punctuation, all right? So a lot of students who have a strong Tibetan background, but not a very strong English background, can get confused by these signs. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's about what a sentence requires, other than, beginning with a capital letter, ending with a full stop. Sentence okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we start with a simple sentence. Let's see how do we know whether a sentence is simple or not? Sentence is simple, right? So now a simple sentence will have one part. Now, when you divide a sentence, all right, you will see that in a simple sentence, you can clearly divide it into two parts. All right? One part is the subject part, and the other part is called the predicate part. This is everything about the subject. Subject call ye changma predicate na yore, and they khati the changma they mingzi di call re. Mingzi shema call mare. They you mingzi di call. So that's how you can clearly divide it into two parts. Part ni ya shuche to se shuche gre. Kashelia ani chebo po manda yore. Di chebo po di risha, di chebo po di risha. So do one simple chego ya manda. Simple nanolia chebo po di kurang kor kapsan yore kurang chik ma to yo mare. Ta ming chik sigo marta chebo po na ming sum shi yungure de ine di predicate di nanolia chebo po di kon le khari ime di chazan phojo di chebo po khari ime dagran kor re ma do chebo po shemba kon mare. So if you look at these examples, right, this part, now you should understand what predicate means. Predicate is the part of the verb, all right? So verb usage to chazi usage ta ani deshe shemba usage to the part the predicate. Okay, is this talking about this subject? If this predicate part is talking about this particular subject, then it's a simple sentence. Do you understand? What's in there?
Yes, madam.
So let's look at the examples there. I write in my journal every day. I is the subject. Write in my journal every day. All of that is about I. This is I call. So clearly, you need cheswa. This is subject resha. This is predicate resha. So do kone. This simple sentence. Okay, in the same way, Lobsang is a doctor at Apollo Hospital. The subject is Lobsang, very clear. Subject is Lobsang, is a doctor at Apollo Hospital. Di chazan su kol re, Lobsang kol. Mi shembach kol mare, di Lobsang ran kol. Okay, so this sentence now, this subject resha, the predicate resha, ni yeba sew should ni liton yung, de yeba shemba yo mari yantina. Okay, so clearly it is a simple sentence. All right. Now look at number 3. The subject is the subject child. All of the 5th grade students. This subject. Will take the test next week. All of the 5th grade students will take the test next week. See, all of the 5th grade students is clearly the subject of this predicate. Predicate the subject dire. Predicate so will take the test next week. So this hamasul koguyare. All of the 5th grade students. All right. So clearly, again, you see subject and a predicate. Okay. Now let's look at the next one. Dashi played football and took a shower. All right. So Dashi ki football se and so to Chazi the New York Delia. Played football, took a shower. Nija Chazidwa. Yinija switch every Dashi chevre. So the Kanza Tashi do kone, the predicate chick yore, a Kariki predicate residu, Dashi predicate re. Dashi called re.
Tashi.
Tashi ran called Mother Shemba, Mi Shemba Yomata mean. All right. So clearly, this hammer subject Tashi the subject reshas and played football and took a shower. Say the Kanza Tashi called the predicate chugos, subject predicate and you have a 7 chart to do kone. That's how you get a simple sentence. Verb neither yota. Verb neither played football, took a shower to a verb chingy kejamare. Verb subject we call red. Okay, now let's look at the next one. Pema and Dolma sang and danced. But Delia sang and danced to Lukoyar.
Pema and
Dolma. Pema chibol mare, Dolma chiboch mare. The sentence the subject the Pema and Dolma. Sentence the Ganga subject Pema and Dolma. Yes. Because the predicate is about. All right. So it's not about whether you know a subject refers to one name or one person. No. Is the verb that has been expressed in the subject all about in the predicate all about that subject there. Din nali chazi nali you have the time di call red. The mingchi in a degree, mingi in a degree, mingsum in a degree, group gazachi. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. So that's how you get a simple sentence. Oh, simple sentence. Those lay on mother. Yang kashik this and oh, simple sentence now subject chick the verb chick yours lamna. Subject predicate chick. Subject chick predicate chick. Do you understand what predicate means? All right. Predicate is the part of in a sentence, the part of the verb and all the rest of the words. That's called the predicate, and it tells us about the subject, what the subject does or what the subject is. Like this has a subject called. So this has a subject called simple sentence. And sometimes dine chega the subject call up, chega the subject shambach call up, do call any sentence bet manda ligre, compound sentence yet ligre. Understood?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so all right, so let's see. All right, so now independent clause is also said to be the same as a complete sentence. Independent clause, the complete sentence. Okay, so if you look at some examples over here, I am often busy and tired. It's one clause, it's independent. Right, Yangsi, you're watching. I tell it how share any college Yangsi and I struggle to finish my homework. And a homework so it's highly a calipetu cigar, struggle to the college of years, the Talamata chiku cigar, homework highly college shoot your cigar. Okay, you see two independent clauses or two separate sentences. All right. Okay. So, all right. So if you look at this independent clause, all right, you will see it's a simple sentence. This is the second one is also a simple sentence. I is the subject, and I'm often busy and tired is the predicate. So it's a simple sentence. I struggle. I the subject re struggle to finish my homework. Say the predicate re. So subject predicate. You have a say with your both are simple sentences. Okay. All right. Another example. He is a lazy boy. It is a simple sentence. He gets good marks in the exams. It's a simple sentence. Do you understand? A simple sentence. Yes. All right. Subject the predicate. Call part ni madumidua. Call it tumbini madumare. Chick subject chick predicate. Okay. Subject shemba, the predicate shemba yomare, predicate subject agarange predicate. Okay, all right. So he gets good marks in the exam. So both are simple sentences. Okay, she left early. All right, she didn't miss the bus. She left early. Simple sentence. She didn't miss the bus. Simple sentence. It's a complete sentence. They are all called independent clauses or complete sentences. Okay, all right, let's go. Yes, so we finished with this. All right, so these are just a few examples of what we mean by complete independent clauses Or you can call these sentences simple sentences, because simple sentences are independent clauses. Simple sentence are independent clause. Okay? Any questions so far? We are just at simple sentences. Simple sentence chadnat sigar wa kandis chai me sigar. Any doubts or any questions you have in your mind? Okay, all right, I'm going to move on now. Okay, now we are going to write some simple sentences about yourself. Now here's an example. Yeah, these are simple sentences. I use simple sentences to write about myself. Simple sentence. I am Yeshi. I'm Tibetan. I'm 50 years old. I'm a teacher. I teach English. I teach English to monks at Sera and Tashigumbo Monastery. I have been teaching English for 36 years. I like teaching English. I live at camp number 2 in Balakobe Tibetan settlement. See, all these sentences are simple sentences. Okay? All right, now you have to write, a few sentences, simple sentences about yourself. Just write a few simple sentences about yourself. It's exercise for you.
I am a monk.
Yes.
I'm studying Buddhism philosophy.
Buddhist philosophy. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Then?
I come from Tibet.
Yes. That's all? You can write it down first and then speak. All right, first write it down and then share. It'll be easier. Martin Malona any Gyokatadore. Someone de Umara. You call it the simple chiborta and the batta de megurda and the bat and the luna and simple chungmare. Okay?
Yes.
Finished? Okay, please read. Somebody start.
My name is Carlson.
Yes.
I'm 30 years old.
Okay.
I live in Sera.
Very good.
I love Sera.
Okay.
I study Buddhist philosophy.
Very
I
good.
live Sera 12 years old. 12 years.
I have lived.
I
have present perfect. I have lived.
I have lived.
Yes, have lived. I have lived in Sera for how many years?
12 years.
Very good, for 12 years. All right, very good. All these are simple sentences. Yes, anybody else would like to share? Please share your work so that we know that you are making correct simple sentences. Simple sentence. It's about yourself. It should be easy. Here's an example.
Okay. Hello. I I am Dawa.
Okay.
I am 26 years old. I am a student.
Yes.
I learn philosophy.
Okay.
I like studying philosophy.
Good.
I live at Sarah Monastery in Balakobi.
Very good. Okay, good. All right, now, next. We have 9 participants. So I'd like to hear from all of you.
I am Lodru.
Okay,
I'm a monk.
good.
I am studying Buddhist philosophy.
Very good.
I came from Tibet.
Very good.
I have lived in India for 15 years.
I've lived in India for 15 years. Okay,
In India. Oh, finish.
good. It's good. Good sentences. All right, anybody else now would like to share?
Yes.
Yes, please carry on.
Yes, I'm Sanam Tenji. I'm Tibetan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 28 years old.
Okay,
I'm a monk.
yes.
I am studying Buddhist philosophy at the Sarah Monastery.
Good.
I come India in 2003.
I came to India in 2003. Yes.
I like to play football and I like to be a teacher.
Very good, very good. All right, very good. Yes, anybody else? We have 9 participants. Please participate. You are participants, so you should be participating. Just share any amount of sentences you have. Doesn't matter if it's only 3 sentences. What is important is that you are writing and you are sharing, okay? Because in language, so just 2 sentences, 3 sentences, doesn't matter. Just do something. Just use the language. Okay, anybody else? Sentence ni yone digre sum yone digre kaba mendo. Sum ye dike chumbudo dike yi jang yorwa ke yi jang dike jang yin ke she gore yigi jang yin yigi ti gore. Yes. Anybody would like to share, or I think I should move on because we do not want to waste too much time. Oh, Yinda, Gyosinda.
Yes. I'm Losan.
Okay.
I'm 31 years old.
Yes.
I'm Tibetan. I came from Tibet in 2000. I have been in Sarah since 2000.
Very good.
I study at Sarah.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay. All right, anybody else? You better the men are doing the okay. Now, so write a few sentences about yourself. That's how it's here. Now we come to compound sentences. The simple sentence, this one, it's a very easy sentence. When you can have the sentence, these are all simple sentences. Okay. All right, now compound sentences. Now, in a simple sentence, there is only one independent clause. Independent clause, subject, the verb, and now in a compound sentence, you will see 2 independent clauses. All right, and they've been joined. Okay, now look at the 2 simple sentences. I will show you 2 simple sentences. Here, I am often very busy and tired. I struggle to finish my homework on time. This is what it means. You see, separate sentences, independent clauses. Okay, they are separate, independent. Simple sentence. Simple. When you just simple sentence. Okay. Now, How can we combine the two sentences? This is important. See, inginalia, any simple sentence need to combine. All right, let's see. How do you combine two simple sentences? Number one, now you're learning how to use a punctuation mark over here. The comma can semicolon can when you combine two simple sentences, one way to do is to use a semicolon. All right? See, I am often very busy and tired, semicolon. I struggle to finish my homework on time. This mark combines the two. No need for an and, no need for a but. You can use this mark. This is called a semicolon. That's why we use a semicolon. All right? Semicolon pejotang gorta. De kuni ni chik soelia full stop the mageveche semicolon kyabdu kone and kuni ni sentence chik chabre. All right? The semicolon de karukugorsin di tanda the di tanda ni deva yorta. Deva make your part a sentence kyagmare. Thing you deva should chumbayare. Deva can this yor. What is the relationship between the two sentences? Do you see a relationship? Are they related?
Yes. They
How?
are related here.
How?
Because it's about one subject.
He struggled to finish his homework because
He's tired.
get tired.
Yes. Sentence niva di karichin yungu yor si simple sentence niva dinga o rangjon tuto le ma cha ye di gyumzen dinga yangsi ka le kha an be thelo chob shu dewa dwa kuni ni thanda dewa yor. The meanings have a connection there. That is why you can use a semicolon. That is why you can combine them. If they don't have any connection, don't combine. You connect simple sentences that are connected in meaning. All right. If they are connected in meaning, then otherwise, no need to combine. All right. So how do you combine? Okay, I'm hearing a very funny noise there. What's that? All right. So how do you combine? One way to combine is use a semicolon. The semicolon semicolon di kadu independent clause ni para li kyab yung to ade. This is the comma that tanda bet mandare the conjunction double independent clause ni join chevre. Okay, so the clause before it is independent, the clause that comes after it is independent. That's one way of combining. That's one way of getting a compound sentence. That's one way. All right. Okay, now let's look at the second one. The second way is to use a comma and a conjunction. You put a comma and then you put a conjunction. All right, so you see all the conjunctions over here. These are called coordinating conjunctions. Okay, a compound sentence need two neg, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And you put a comma also. You have to put a comma there. Okay, so let's see how it's done. Here. I'm often very busy and tired, comma, and I struggle to finish my homework on time. I put an and there. Right? You can put and there. This is what it means now. And tell us how shoot and got to door. Any says your and got to door yet and all right, but when you combine, see, independent clause tangu tik ya comma che and shine de gebudwa and say the shine gebre. That is the coordinating conjunction. These two combine them. That's how you write. That's how you write a compound sentence, joining two independent clauses. Understood?
Yes.
The join now, now I'm using so. So I'm often very busy and tired, so I struggle to finish my homework on time. That you the can she what they you the can. Now young si kale ka tell us over yin sans any karchik do ngarang chun to do chagmindusla. That is so sidu kone dishigare consequence the years and the chung society. So connected? Yeah, the meaning is connected, right? Nanda tanda chazan tungu do wati nalia. Nang di gemne tungure, wa di gemne tungure, so gemne tunda tungure. Right? Ine tunda connect chena manda chevre. Chick you the can't of stivre. Chick you can have dear chick to dear chick, the yon and dear chick to send chick addition re. Chick the consequence re. All right, let's look at another one. For in that. Now this for. In English, for is used as a conjunction to mean because. Because I struggle to finish my homework on time, for I'm often very busy and tired. It's the same as the word because. But because is not a coordinating conjunction. Because is used in an independent clause. It's not used as a coordinating conjunction. For a coordinating conjunction, you use for. Because like your coordinating conjunction, the for get combined chikre. Because dina tigmare. Independent compound sentence na because tigmare. Complex sentence na because legre. In thanda because tigmare. All right. I had my lunch early for I was hungry. Nga shela nga sansa sevens togo shu to zang sladre. Togo shu to zang sladre. For I was hungry. For is like because. Okay. All right. So daily because to ba constantly you the can get shigtwa. Okay. Now here. Yet I'm often very busy and tired, yet I finish my homework. Now, this is a different simple sentence. The thinking you chigo marta, nga tsagu yos lagorta. Nga yangsi yansi tella chekale shoot those yines like dre, nga homework da tsagu those. Yet I finish my homework on time. It's a different sentence there. The sentence ni with the mandar thinking yet chipa mare. Thinking tsagu mindurwa. That's tsagu those the way I have to put yet there. All right. So I'm often busy and tired, yet I finish my homework on time. All right. Please take note of the comma and the conjunction, comma and the conjunction, comma and the conjunction. Just where? Yet say the but say the. Okay. Now I'm putting a but there. Yet maybe but I'm often very busy and tired, but I finish my homework on time. All right. Tell us shoot you know. Your YUNS and a homework to those. Tell us what you do, all right? In a homework to those level. All right. So there's a difference between yet and but. These kawayorta, yet the but to do. I'm often very busy and tired. Yines, all right. Tadung any homework those. I'm often busy and tired. Yines homework those. This okay. Yeah. Now this is the use of nor and this sentence I cannot finish my homework, nor can I finish my other obligations on time. Obligations in lenge duty. The homework gets hugmindu. Nor so negative. I cannot finish my homework, nor can I finish my homework or other obligations on time. See how I joined with nor, but then in this case, I used two different, it's not the same simple sentences, it's a different one. I made it negative, negative social. Negative nor I cannot finish my homework, nor can I finish my other obligations on time. Okay? Nor pejatanda dimnijalo negative in nor pejatangre. Okay. Now I'm using a phrase. Now I'm using the word what is this? Yes, or laidrida, or the but pejatanda. A phrase has a subject or it has a verb. I'm sorry, there should be an over here. A phrase has a subject or it has a verb, but not both. See, I use two coordinating conjunction for this sentence. Sentence still, yeah. Compound sentence still in a coordinating conjunction. A phrase has a subject or it has a verb, but not both. Phrase the subject the manner or sinti manner wa yana di or yana se or yana di verb yine nijayo amare se. A phrase has a subject or it has a verb, but not both. So I'm showing you an example of how I use or and but. Okay, so a phrase has a subject or a verb, but not both. a phrase has a subject or it has a verb. A phrase has a subject or it has a verb. It the phrase the can you see? It refers to the phrase there. A phrase has a subject or it has a verb. The phrase the repeat mare. A phrase has a subject or a verb. Do you see the difference there? So when you see a repetition of the same subject, no need to repeat. All right? Okay, you can use that same subject for both these phrases there. A phrase has a subject or a verb, but not both. This is what a phrase has a subject, it has a verb, it the phrase it so a phrase has a subject or a verb. Don't repeat the subject there because it's the same subject you're talking about. Okay, so this is what we mean by compound sentences and how we change simple sentences into compound sentences. We can use the comma and a coordinating conjunction, and you get all these different compound sentences. Okay?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Oh, this is got that. All right. Any doubt or any questions or anything not clear?
I have one question, ma'am. Two questions, actually. Two questions.
Go ahead, please.
Between a coordinating conjunction and conjunction, is there any difference or it's same?
Yes, not the same, because we will come later on, we will come across another conjunction, which is called a subordinating conjunction. Do you understand? That is why this distinction is important. Coordinating means joining.
Conjunction is different.
Conjunction subordinating conjunctions. Okay, coordinating means joining. Joining. Sentence joining, coordinating. Yes?
Conjunction joining words like that. Joining words are called conjunction like that.
Conjunction coordinating conjunction kashe sentence ni simple sentence kashe dependent clause when because as like they also joined a dependent and an independent clause. All right, they're independent clause ni join independent clause ni join coordinating conjunction. Dependent clause the independent clause join subordinating conjunction complex sentence
and comma ngebar kya ho raha hai and comma
grammatically comma di khona sim independent clause comma da den su manguchi khawal ge gor sin engine lo le clause ki gel ge gor clause re de gel comma ge gre. I'm often very busy and tired. There is this shago gor kasin di thonda chik cha cham re ani comma ge we are just comma lo clause ki gel ligre. The clause ki gel kharchin de gor sin there pause chase the gor thonda chik dele de gor is the gel yan thonda shema chi jet kri tas the du kone ani doks chini thonda khatsan chik go to chat thonda chasan chikuya pause chase the day. All right, so pause the kadu in clause chik gel le. So the independent clause gel chance shugo sigre yan dependent clause in comma ge kadu in comma ki thonda sama dine tayong korte
comma magana note ho raha hai
comma magya rechina grammatically no re pause ye loswa inchi ke gebdu kone ke che shedu ta nga zu pause rangshin gi yore pyi na pause pe mangu to ken zu che dan shimde che dan la shmebe yigi lo de che cham la shto che cham pause lo gorda tama lo de le lo do che cham ha ko do lam san che gi do kan su su ma lo de kone lam san che cham di ko gu yore mige kasne ko judge re ko de yore 제그래 제참라 제그래 디두 거네 책로 디두 거네 제참디 따지 마절이야 안 제참하고 말아
네
어디 제참 코마디 다 punctuation mark 참말로 디두 거네 제사다 컨디스 제고 요메디 Tidu con living got. Yet the shed like my get the shed the ranching your chair some de chigre. Do you understand? Oh.
Kita orang end na dinial lang yang bertu kalau tadi koma jab orang yang bertu.
Okay.
Kadina.
That's the angegi. Hawali ya koma jabul so.
Independent clause.
Clause
Independent clause.
Clause mene jaw mare. Dolma and Pema clause rebe. Clause rebe. No, it's a phrase.
Not.
Pema clause rebe. No, don't put a comma. Good to say. If it's a clause, put a comma. Okay? Doma and Pema letting out to check mara. Doma and Pema look marwa. Doma and Pema.
Okay. Yes, sir. No one is.
Is it clear? Oh, that clause jelly phrase jelly put it after a clause because that's where one meaning finishes. Okay. And turn that shit get bored. That turn that mango chiena, turn that law legend turn that watching mara, turn that really a jet, turn that really jet in a call out to Ryan, Marve. Turn that pagalia, lel hard that you go. This is the reason why you have commas and punctuation mark in writing. You need this in writing. Okay. Do you understand?
Yes, madam.
Okay. All right. Now let's look at. Do we have time?
Sorry.
Oh, that is so we finished compound sentences. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Oh, that they did it. This year, they can't did it. Just let's finish this time with this subject. Compound sentences that combine the sentences with a coordinating conjunction using fanboys. You can use for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. This is a compound sentence for this.
She went to work, but she did not want to go.
Though I would put though there. To me, madness, though is a good word. All right. Oh, there though mean the conda. Yet. She went to work. But she did not want to go. She went to work. No, did not that Chimberda. Don't do many chimbers, Laelia. She did not want to go, yet she went to work. She did not want to go. Don't do your yet she went.
Yet she went to
chimbers. She did that they all were dinging the joke yet the quite so she did not want to go. Yet she went to work. Chimbers. But yet thadun sigo the conjunction yet she did not want to go, yet she went to work. Don't do many chimbres yet. Yet okay.
scientist we had
the scientist trained him well.
And I put an end there.
And they helped him find a job.
When his training was through. All right. So the scientist trained him well. Scientists call training out race. Any training sadu and colleague race. The end yakshuri do. Right. And yakshuri do delia. As this how the leg so they trained him well, and when he finished, all right, they found him a job. They helped him find a job. So and okay, what about number 3? Dear Risha.
They and neither. Polar bears are fierce territorial animals and
Grizzly bears
Yeah.
are
Grizzly bears are same.
or polar bear into any shena tau any sosuki sajalia bet kore the karsa the yunguta kid into nation susu sajali yombra cheni kun rayon to territorial seed and susu sajal ketchum shooting it. So polar bears are fierce territorial animals. Grizzly bears are the same. Grizzly bear chigores la udwa. So polar bears are fierce territorial animals and grizzly bears are the same. All right? Grizzly bear is late. Okay, then. Did you understand? Mark told me not to come with him. He looked longingly at me as I left. Mark koyam the yom olaf sons. And not to do con kongal shoe, which gives him butani de sons like that and the household of themselves.
But
But young what love, yine not to do kongal shoe, which that de sons like that. The yin is ligdwa, yin ligdwa, but ligdwa. But he looked longingly at me as I left. All right? Okay. What about number 5? I will not give in to you means I will not surrender. Give in to surrender, Sigor, in Ginalia. Phrase to give in to surrender. Go Sigor. I will not give in to you. I will not let you push me around. All right? I cannot go Gurgeme. I
will not give in to you, nor
will I. Nor I will I let you push me around. Because not nor will I let you push me around. This is how you have to use nor jelia I will I say. Nor will I let you push me around. No need for not there because you already put a nor there. Okay, very good. Okay, then the next one.
I will not give in to
my father to
you.
and
My father loves to drive during the day.
and
drive before
his nursing home lets him drive before 9 p.m.
Okay, lets him drive before 9 p.m. So no. And member so ya so la du gon che ta ko nyime gon lia driving check o yor che san korangi ta gen su kan de gi en ko ni chu su go ben ya lia mo ta chu yor is du do che san se ya to de lia so se my father loves to drive during the day, so his nursing home lets him drive before 9 p.m. 9 p.m. nya lia ko drive che chu yor is la because he loves driving during the day.
Yeah.
So all right. Okay, what about number 7?
I want to
I want
I
to
want to
go
go on
to
a beer,
So I will
ask him
I will ask him out.
Okay. Yes, what about number 8?
They couldn't think of anything better to do.
Yet they decided to babysit for the family.
Why yet? I couldn't think of anything better to do. Yet, Karchin, yet lana, yet la de kone kan di da opposite direction to what?
But
they couldn't think of anything better to do.
I couldn't. Not the cheers came into usla. Ta ko che ke yo marwa. I couldn't think of anything better to do. They decided to babysit.
So they decided to babysit for the family.
For the family. All right. So they decided, okay, I couldn't think of anything better to do. All right. So they decided to babysit for the family. All right. Family babysit.
Family.
Okay. What about number 9?
A book can be a lot of fun to read. A book can be boring.
Okay.
A book can be a lot of fun to read, but a book can be boring.
Yes. A book can be a lot of fun to read, or a book
can be boring.
Okay, so or is a good one there. Okay, what about number 10?
My cat was hungry.
Hungry.
It had not eaten since breakfast.
Breakfast. Shokjane chinko kala chia sayo mare. He was hungry. Yes. Now this is easy.
Oh.
If itre.
Eat.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, that's let's see. Okay, let's finish this off.
Yes.
Four.
Shogin nikala sayo mare ko togo togo yarislar. So that's it. So easy. Come on. What is the connection? Connection.
My he
So,
was hungry.
Four.
Four. Very good.
Four.
My cat was hungry, for it had not eaten since breakfast.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. All right.
Yes.
So here are the answers there. Answers there. For redwa mai wa desi da ye all redwa de so redwa. So you got all of them right. Okay, so that's a little practice on using coordinating conjunctions, and we will stop over here. And tomorrow we'll continue. Singi yorwa. Singi yomare. Singi yomar. All right.
Zalhaba.
Salhawal yor. Salhawal the motive. As the pair ringo yore, I care chumbrdi. Then to got turn a cut some inch sentence to bangush got to cancel. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So thank you. And
Okay,
we
thank
will
you.
meet on Wednesday. All right.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. And yet the time that cancel ya karsa PDF ki file in the manguchik and lobsan dorjilarbe. I hope you got those. They're all related to sentences. And it did all practice chair unit now practice. So maybe I think I sent 3 different PDF files. So look for sentence structures and exercises and try to do the exercises. Okay, and then we will see you on Wednesday.
Understand.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.